If you're thinking about buying a home this year, you're probably either worried about making the wrong decision, making a decision that you're going to regret, or making a decision that could cost you tens of thousands of dollars, or maybe a combination of all three. And if that's something that's been on your mind, this video's for you. Buying a home can be one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your life, and it can be full of joy and excitement. Setting your family up to build equity and build wealth while also having a safe roof over your head. But on the other hand, it can be a process that's full of stress, anxiety, and regret that could end up costing you in the long run. So in this video, I'll go over 5 reasons why you could regret buying a home this year and how you can avoid them. Make sure you stick around until the end so that you can be in a position to make a decision that's best for you, and I might even have a bonus tip or two. I'm Tyrell Boake, a realtor in Kelowna, and on this channel, I help you navigate the real estate market and provide you with useful information so you can make informed decisions that make sense for you. If you get any value out of this type of content, hit the like and subscribe buttons so that other people like you can see this video too. Buying a home is probably the biggest financial commitment that most of us will make in our lives, and it's not something to be taken lightly. I get it, it's a lot of money, and no matter what you decide to buy, it's an enormous financial commitment. But it can also be one of the most rewarding and financially beneficial things that we can do for ourselves and our family if done right. So here are 5 reasons why you could regret buying a home this year and how you can avoid them. The number one reason that you could regret buying a home this year is by spending more than you want to. We've all heard the term house poor, and nobody wants to live through that experience. So even though you may qualify for a larger mortgage, maybe you don't feel comfortable maxing out your payment and you'd be more comfortable spending a little bit less. In order to avoid having this happen to you, make sure you really know and have a handle on what your actual monthly expenses are, and try your hardest not to only look at homes that are at the top end of your budget. Looking at houses is exciting, and we all get distracted by shiny things. Just make sure that that emotion doesn't take over the whole process and steer you in the wrong direction. Especially if this is your first home. Your first home doesn't need to be your forever home, and maybe you'd be more comfortable with the payment on something smaller like a 2-bedroom condo instead of going all in and maxing out your budget and buying that 3-bedroom townhouse where you're probably not even going to use that 3rd bedroom anyway. The second reason that you could regret buying a home this year is only listening to friends and family and not listening to your gut. I get it. When we want to make the right decision, we want to discuss the pros and cons with our trusted friends and family and get their input on the decision. I do it all the time, but with that can come the pressure of doing what they want or what they want you to do and not necessarily doing what's best for you. As much as we love them, our friends and family don't always know our whole situation or have all the facts, and what they'll do is give you advice based on their own experiences of what they would do in your situation, and that might not align with what your goals are. Don't let that sway you into buying the wrong home or passing up the opportunity to buy the right home for you because they don't see the whole picture. The good news is this is an easy fix too. If your friends and family aren't making the mortgage payment, the decision's ultimately yours. Don't let anyone pressure you into doing anything or into buying a home that's not right for you. Another reason you could regret buying a home this year is not being prepared for unforeseen expenses or repairs. We've all heard horror stories about someone saving money for a down payment, putting it aside, or buying their dream home, only to move into that home and find out that there's a major repair that needs to be done, or a faulty roof, cracked foundation, or a furnace that needs to be replaced. It sucks when bills come up that we weren't expecting, or something breaks and we have to fix it and we weren't prepared for that. If you're a renter, something breaks, you just call the landlord, they're going to fix it and it's on their dime and you don't have to worry about it. But as a homeowner, you don't have that luxury. If something breaks or needs to be replaced, it's on your dime. The good news is you can do a couple things to avoid having this happen to you in the first place, or at least to be a little better prepared if something does come up. First of all, you can create an emergency fund for the eventuality when an emergency or an unexpected repair comes up. This is easier to do if you're not spending to the top of your monthly budget, of course, but it's also easier to do if you do what we talked about earlier in the video and you don't only look at homes that are at the top of your budget. There's a chance that if you don't spend everything you're approved for, some of that down payment that you saved, you may not have to put down on the home, and you could sock that away in an emergency fund for another day. Secondly, before fully committing to the home, you really should do a home inspection and it should be performed by a professional. We've all seen the memes about having the buyer's uncle come and inspect the house or having dad there with the ladder during the showing checking out the attic. And while we appreciate their help, having a professional thoroughly go through the home is going to be to your benefit because they know exactly what to look for and where the risks and potential problems could be. Spending a few $100s up front is going to save you thousands of dollars in the long run. The fourth reason that you could regret buying a home this year is if you plan to buy it and only keep it short term. I know it's tempting to want to do a short term flip like you see on TV, but actually making money on something like that is rare. In the real world, it usually doesn't work that way. Not only is there too much volatility in the market to predict if you're going to make or lose money in the short term or if the market's going to go up or down, there are new or amended provincial anti-flipping and flipping taxes being introduced in British Columbia all the time, so even if you do make a profit, you can't predict what the taxes are going to be on that profit. And these are in addition to any federal anti-flipping taxes as well. The good news is you can avoid this by planning to keep the property for the medium to long term. That way you can ride out any volatility in the market and hopefully build equity. If your plan is to buy the home short term, avoid any regret and just don't do it. The fifth reason you could regret buying a home this year is by buying a home in the wrong neighborhood. The way a neighborhood looks and feels can change throughout the day. Traffic, noise, and light pollution can all be different at different times, and one of these elements could be a real turnoff for you or something that you simply can't live with. The good news is this is an easy fix, and you can avoid any surprises by visiting the neighborhood at different times a day. Go in the morning when you would typically commute to school with your kids and take that route and see how long it takes you. Go at 4 o'clock at the end of the day and see how bad the traffic is while you drive home, and drive by in the evening to see if there's excess noise in the neighborhood or maybe some noise pollution that you didn't see when you did your first showing. It's a great idea to do this before you put an offer on the home, but at the very least, once you have an accepted offer and you're doing your due diligence period, drive through the neighborhood at different times of day so you get a really good feeling for what the neighborhood is going to be like. Another reason that you could regret buying a home this year is choosing to work with an agent that's not right for you. Ideally, you want someone whose communication style matches your own or who's at least adaptable to how you like to communicate. You want someone who's going to put your interests first, who is empathetic to your situation and is experienced and knowledgeable. The good news is this is an easy fix. It seems like everybody knows a realtor, so speak to your friends and family and learn about their first-hand experiences. Then, pick a couple realtors that you feel would be a good fit for you and interview them. I suggest you interview at least 2 people before you make your decision. I mean, I'd love it if you worked with me, but no pressure. These are 5 ways that you could regret buying a home this year and how to avoid them. If you can think of any other reasons why a buyer might regret buying a home, leave them in the comments below. I'm sure my viewers would like to hear from your first-hand experience. And if you'd like to book a call with me to talk about real estate, hit the first link in the description to book a call at a time that works best for you. Or hit the link to download my free Informed Buyer's Guide. Thanks for watching.